Hello and welcome to Burn and Build your 40-minute home workout. Today we'll be using a light pair of dumbbells, a block, and a resistance band. Let's start our warm-up right away, standing at the back of the mat, feet hip-width apart, rolling your shoulders up towards your ears, back and down a few times as we start to loosen up. Switch directions, so rolling the shoulders forward a few times. This is a great time to really start to tune into your breath. Now let's drop the shoulders down by the sides, chin to chest, pick one direction and start to circle your head slowly in that direction, a few rotations. When your chin comes back to your chest this time, just reverse the direction. Again, staying focused on your breath as you start to align your mind and body on your mat today. All right, coming back through center, take a great big inhale as you sweep your arms out to the sides and overhead. Exhale to swan dive forward over your thighs. Tuck your chin, slowly uncurl your spine, come back to stand. And as you inhale, take the arms overhead once more. Exhale, swan dive, bending your knees, tucking your chin, roll it back up. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, fold it down, this time to stay, so you can let your head hang and grab onto opposite elbows. Take a gentle sway side to side. Release your hands down to the mat. Look towards the front of your mat and walk your hands forward until you reach a high plank position, so your hips are about level with your shoulders and the core is starting to engage. You can rock back and forth a few times to warm up into the wrists. Apply downward pressure through your hands like you're trying to push the ground away from underneath you. On your next inhale, pull your hips up into a downward facing dog position. Sweep your right leg up into the air. You can bend your knee and allow your hips to open towards the right side. From here, take a couple slow circles to open up into your right hip. You can make these as small or as big as you'd like. Re-extend your right leg up towards the sky like a three-legged dog, and as you exhale, draw your right knee forward to the right elbow and step your foot outside of your right hand for a lizard lunge. Take your gaze forward, lower your left knee down, and ground down through your left hand, taking your right hand behind your head. As you inhale, turn your right elbow up towards the ceiling. Try to look back at your elbow, and as you exhale, bow the right elbow down to the floor inside of your front foot. Inhaling to twist and open, and exhaling to fold down. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, fold it down. Now this time, inhale, open up and remove your right hand from behind the head. Reach it up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, place your hand down inside of your right foot. Lift your back knee, rock back and forth a few times. And when you're ready, step back to your downward dog position to reset. Let's extend the left leg up towards the sky, bend your knee, open your hips to the left, draw big slow circles with your left knee to open up your left hip. Inhale, extend your left leg up towards the sky and use your exhale to draw the knee forward and step your left foot outside of your hands. Look forward, lower your right knee down. Take your right hand flat to the floor and your left hand behind your head. Inhale, twist and open to the left. Exhale, bow down. Your elbow may or may not touch the floor on this one. Don't force yourself to go too deep, too early into our class today. Inhale to open up. Exhale, let's fold down one more time. And then opening up, this time extending the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Big exhale as you take both hands down to the top of your mat. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, rock back and forth a few times. And this time, rather than stepping back, we'll step the right foot forward. So both of your feet are about mat width apart, turning your toes out, dropping the hips down into a deep squat. Make your hands into fists, roll out your wrists a few times. Make sure that your elbows are inside of your knees. Switch directions with those wrist circles. Great work. That concludes our warm-up. So we're going to set up for our first series, which will be for the abs. You can lower yourself down to a seat, grab your dumbbells, one in either hand, and lower yourself down to a reclined tabletop position. So we're going to imprint the lower back onto the mat, float your legs up so your shins are parallel to the floor, and then extend your arms up towards the sky. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders as you sweep the arms forward. Turn your palms to face down, and then extend your legs to hover as you open the arms out to a 45-degree angle. So you inhale to extend, and then exhale to bend the knees and draw the weights back into about shoulder distance apart. We'll work through a few rounds like this, paying careful attention to keep the lower back grounded the whole time. If you are finding that your lower back is lifting and arching and not staying anchored to the mat, you can keep your knees a little bit more bent and lower the legs less. It's really important as you work out to stay really aware of what's going on. So we want to start to feel some work happening in the core. Keep your arms straight, palms facing down like you're sliding your hands across two flat countertops. Next time you bring it in, hold it here, keep your knees bent, and take little pulses. Imagine you're pulsing the chest towards your thighs and reaching your knuckles towards the top of your mat. Whenever we take this pulsing action in a Sculpt or Pilates class, it's important to think of it as a micro movement. So you won't see a lot of movement happening, but you squeeze your abs with every pulse, so we really maximize our core engagement. Come back to that arrowhead position, so extending the legs, opening the arms. We're gonna work the right leg only. So same action, you bend your right knee, bring the weights maybe to touch behind the right thigh, and then re-extend your right leg to join the left as you open your arms out to the sides. Notice I'm not bringing my arms all the way out, just about 45 degrees. And I'm keeping my left leg hovering just above the mat. So I'm not lowering it all the way down, but I'm bringing it as close to the floor as I can without touching, extending through the left leg, pointing the toes so there's engagement through the left side as I continue to work into the abs. Keep your chest lifted as you go for one more rep, extending, and then bring it in, return to your pulses, keeping your right knee bent and your left leg hovering. Pulse your chest towards your right thigh, reaching your knuckles towards the top of your mat. Lower back is still strongly anchored to the floor beneath you. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up here, extend your right leg, bring the arms out, take it to the left side, so bend your left knee, tap the weights together, inhale to extend, exhale, draw the weights together, and then re-extend your left leg. A gentle opening and closing action of the arms. Remember, it's just at 45 degrees. Try to keep a micro bend in your elbows. If you are starting to feel that this is too much on the shoulders, you're always welcome to drop the weights and just focus on the work happening in your core. Great, 2 more from here, and then we're gonna pulse it out, re-extend, last one. Bring it in, bring it out. And now bring it in, pulse your weights towards the top of your mat, keeping your left knee bent. Make sure it's not too close to your chest. So think about lining up your left knee right over top of your left hip. Hover your right leg off the floor. Toes are pointed on both sides. Last 3, 2, 1, and now quickly transitioning, extend both of your legs. You can finally lower them down to the floor. Take your arms up towards the sky, palms face in. As you exhale, peel yourself up off the mat, reaching your arms overhead at the top. Inhale, draw the navel in round through the spine as you slowly roll yourself back down. Imagine like you're peeling a sticker off a page. As you roll up, extend the arms overhead and slowly lay it back down, trying to bring your shoulder blades and then your head down last. Keep your heels on the floor, active through the legs, so you can squeeze your thighs together and point your toes. I like to initiate the roll up with my head and neck to make sure I'm not using too much momentum. So you can keep a little tuck of the chin to the chest as you start your roll up each time. Imagine you're tucking your chin just enough that you could balance an apple between your chin and your chest. Keeping your core intentionally engaged through your whole range. We're almost there. Let's roll up 3 more times. Big reach of the arms at the top and slowly release back down. You've got 2 more. Exhale, peel it up. All right, my friends, last one from here. Roll yourself up. This time, pause for a moment, lean back halfway and take your arms forward parallel to the floor. Make sure you've got about shoulder width distance between your hands. Lift and lower your right leg and then your left, keeping the opposite leg anchored down to the floor, but without driving your heel down too much into the mat. So you want to use your core to initiate your leg lift, not leveraging by pressing the bottom leg down into the mat. Now, if you are lifting your leg all the way up, but you're rocking side to side across your sits bones, I'm gonna invite you to make your movement a little bit smaller. You don't need to lift the leg high to get that core engagement. Keep both of your sits bones, both of your glutes grounded the whole time so you can work from the core. Let's go for one more on each side, your right leg and then your left. Then keep both legs down, pulse it back a little bit further, so reaching your shoulders towards the back of the mat, arms are reaching forward, core is engaged, you're rounding slightly through the spine. Remember, this is a micro movement, so it doesn't need to be big. Keep it controlled and concentrated for 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. You can move your weights off to the side and we'll switch them out for the resistance band. So you can grab your band and slide it on at the bottom of your thighs, right above your knees. Then when you're ready, lie down on your back and we're going to get into a little bit of glute bridge work. Lying on your back here, separate your feet so they're hip width apart and make sure your heels are close enough that they're underneath your knees. Separate your knees hip width as well. Find a neutral spine, make sure you're not arching or tucking, and then bring your arms down to the mat beside you with your palms down. Starting with simple hip raises, you'll squeeze your glutes to lift your hips up into a glute bridge and then bring your hips back down just to hover above the mat, starting to work some time under tension for the glutes here. You want to give your glutes a good intentional squeeze at the top and keep your shoulder blades grounded through the whole range of motion. And it's important to keep your shoulder blades anchored because we are going to add on in just a moment and take it into some single-legged variations. You want to have a strong foundation here to start. Last 2, last 1, and now we'll add on lift your hips up, ground down through your left foot, draw the right knee into your chest, place your right foot down and lower. Hips up, knee in, foot down, hips down. Let's work through this a few more times, only moving through the right leg, so you'll actually feel your left glute working a little bit harder to stabilize every time you lift up your right foot from the mat. Super key here to keep your hips level rather than letting them twist side to side when you pick up your right foot. Imagine you're aiming your belly button up towards the ceiling as you work through this march on the right leg. Let's go for our last one, hips up, knee in, foot down, hips down. Now bring your hips up, draw the right knee in, keep it there, lower and lift through the hips, now exclusively using that left glute to lift and lower. Line up your breathing with your movement, so a big strong exhale as you lift, inhale through the nose as you lower down. Last 2 reps and then we're holding it at the top. Last 1. Next time you bring your hips up, hold here. Straighten your right leg and bend. Straighten and bend. Now you can add in a lift and lower of the left heel, so you pop up onto your left toes as you straighten your right leg and lower your heel down as you rebend into your top knee. Keep your hips as high as you can as you work through this one. Good. Give me 2 more. Last one, keep those hips up. Release. Place your right foot down, feet are hip width. Lower your hips down, and we're coming right back into our glute bridges with both of your feet on the floor. Notice the difference between left side and right side. You might feel a little more activated through that left glute right now. Don't worry, after a few more of these, we're going to take it over to the right side. Keep that same breathing pattern, exhaling as you lift, inhaling as you lower. And when we have both of our feet planted on the floor like so, make sure that the band is not caving your knees in towards each other. Press your outer thighs out against the band. Getting ready to march your left knee up in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's add on. Next time your hips come up, left knee marches into the chest. Gently place your foot down before you lower the hips and repeat. Starting to feel your right glute take over more of the workload as it stabilizes every time you lift your left foot off the floor. Be mindful when you put your left foot back down that you're not stomping it onto your mat. You want to lift, point the toes, and gently flatten your foot to the floor, doing everything in a very controlled and precise manner. Getting ready to keep the left knee up in 2 more reps. Gently lower down, last 1. Draw your knee in, place your foot down, lower down for the last time. Now hips up, left knee into the chest, lower and lift your hips, keeping your right foot on the floor, left toes pointed with your left leg in the air. Just a few like this, give me 3 more. Last 2, Last 1. Next time your hips come up, hold it here. Let's move the left leg, straighten and bend, straighten and bend, then add in the lift of your right heel. As your left leg goes up, so too does the right heel, and then you bend your knee and pop your heel back down to the mat. Keeping your hips lifted in the air, belly button shining up towards the ceiling above you. Good, stay here for 2 more. Last 1. We're not done yet. Place your left foot down, and we're finishing with 30 seconds of pulses, so squeeze your glutes. Tiny micro movement for these pulses. If you do want more, option to come up onto your tiptoes, pressing your ankles towards the top of your mat, keeping your heels in the air, knees hip width as you pulse it out for 10 more seconds. Very good. Last 3, 2, 1, and release. Drop your heels down, lower your hips to the mat, draw your knees into your chest, release your glutes, maybe taking a rock side to side. Moving on to our side body series. Roll your way up, take your band off of your thighs, and we're just gonna grab 1 single dumbbell for this next part of class. Turn to face towards the right long edge of your mat, and you'll come into this half kneeling position. So your left knee will be grounded on the floor, extending your right leg towards the back of the mat. Sole of your foot is flat and the right leg is straight. Little squeeze of the glutes, hold the weight up in front of your chest. We're gonna take a lean towards the left side and then come right back up through center. Make sure that you don't send your hips back, so you're just moving side to side, not forward and back. A good way to make sure that's happening is to ensure that your left hip is lined up over your left knee the whole time. That way we start to target the obliques, the muscles that run down the sides of the waist. And you also want to anchor down through the right foot. So using that as your anchor point, lean away from the foot so you really feel the right side of your waist lengthen and extend, and then contract as you come back up through center. Let's go for 1 more. And then we'll switch up our position. So you can come down placing your left hand to the mat, fingertips face forward, right arm reaches up to the sky. Bend and press with that right arm. Imagine you're drawing your right elbow to tap the back of your rib cage rather than in front, so you can draw your right shoulder blade onto your back. Now we're gonna add on the right leg. So as you bend your right elbow, can you lift your right leg and then tap your toes back to the mat as you drive your right hand up to the sky. Make sure your shoulders and hips stay stacked. You're not rolling forward or backward as we continue to work into the side body, and a little bit of glute and shoulder work on the right side. Very nice. Let's go for 3 more. Squeeze your shoulder blade and press. Last 2. Keep your legs straight when you lift. Last 1. Now we'll make our way into a side plank. You can keep your right hand there, lift up your left knee, crisscross the left foot behind the right so your feet are staggered, hips and shoulders still square. You're going to sweep the left hand up and over, tap the right ankle, piking your hips up, and then open back up to your side plank. So it's a big sweep of the right arm, right hand to left ankle, and then sweep it back to your side plank, stacking hips and shoulders. Take your time on this one, really controlling from the core, sending your hips back and up, almost like a downward dog when you reach your right hand towards the left ankle. And my friends, this one does not work if you don't have your right foot crossed in front of the left. So if you are getting a little twisted around in this one, just make sure your feet are staggered like mine are on the screen. That way when you rotate to the balls of your feet are side by side and they're not twisted around. This is a very complex movement, so make sure you're really present. Control the weight rather than swinging it with momentum. So if you actually move that right arm a little slower, you're going to challenge the muscles that stabilize a little bit more. Stay with me here for 1 more rep. Sweep that right hand under, pike your hips up, come back to your side plank, and now let's hold it here. Squeeze your inner thighs together, almost like you're zipping yourself up from the ankles up to the pelvis, and use that strength to keep your left hip lifted high away from the floor rather than sagging down. We are holding this shape here, but make sure that you're not holding your breath, especially as we get towards the end of this side series. Might feel a little bit shaky, so use those deep inhales and exhales. We're almost there. Now to transition over to the other side, we're going to come through a plank, so you can bring that weight to the center of your mat, both hands on the floor right underneath your shoulders. If you need to modify, drop your knees down, keep your core engaged. Lower to your right elbow, then your left. Come back up to your hands one by one, maintaining a plank position in the body on your knees or on your toes. We want to keep this plank square, so the hips are not rocking side to side like you're turning into a side plank. You keep them facing down towards the floor. They'll naturally rock a little bit, but do your best to minimize that rotation. We're going to come down to the elbows 2 more times. Press yourself back up. Last one, up to your high plank. Now watch carefully. Drop your right knee to the mat. Pivot to the left long edge of your mat. Grab your weight, hold it in front of your chest, ground down through your left foot, lean to the top of your mat, and then pull it back through center. Feeling the left side of your waist lengthen and extend as you lean away from the left foot, and contracting those muscles as you bring yourself back up to align your shoulders over your hips. Just like on the first side, you can use that back foot, this time your left foot, as an anchor point. Try not to roll to the big toe edge of your left foot. See if you can press down through the entire sole of your foot, make it flat like an elephant foot. Let's go for one more here. And now this time, as you take it over to the side, ground down through your right hand. Turn your left palm to face the long edge of your mat. Press and lower. Press and lower. First, getting the action going in your left arm, making sure that your chest remains open to the left side of your mat. Then when you're ready, you can add on your left leg. So as you bend your elbow, you float your left leg up. As you straighten, you tap your toes back to the mat. Make sure it's a tap and not a stomp. You want to keep the muscles in your left leg engaged. Contract your quad, squeeze your glute to lift, and point your toes. So as we work the upper and lower body, try to line up the movements at the same time, lifting your leg and bending your elbow at the same time, and then releasing them back to their original position at the same time, fostering this connection between upper and lower body. Very nice. Keep your left hand in the air. Step your right foot, crossing it behind the left, so your right knee comes off the mat, and we're in our side plank position again to hold for 30 seconds. You might envision once more zipping up your thighs, squeezing them together, engaging your glutes, gently drawing your navel in towards your spine, and lifting your right hip away from the floor, almost like you're making a half moon shape with your body rather than allowing your hips to grow heavy and sag down. Get ready to bring your weight down and join me in a high plank position once more in 3, 2, 1. Turn to face towards the top of your mat. Bring your weight down. You can lower it between your hands so both of your hands are flat on the floor underneath your shoulders. We're going to pick up the right foot, draw the right knee in to touch the back of the right arm, step it back, and then take it over to the left side. So alternating side to side, bring your knee as close to your elbow as you can. If you're a little bit more advanced, you might touch your knee up higher on the back of the arm, perhaps tapping your tricep or even into the armpit. Just like when we were coming up and down on the elbows, you want to keep your hips level and square to the mat. Let's go for 4 more and then you're done. 3, stay strong. 2, last 1. From your high plank position, pike your hips back and up, giving yourself a little bit of a stretch as you press your hands down into the floor. Pedal out your legs, bending one knee in towards the chest and then the other. Come back to your breathing, slow it down a little bit. And from here, you can walk your hands back towards your feet. Slowly bring yourself up to a standing position as we get into the standing portion of our class for today. Let's step up to the top of the mat so you've got some space behind you. Grab your weights, one in either hand. Find your best posture as you extend your arms overhead, palms face forward. Now we'll take a reverse lunge, taking the left leg back, sweeping the arms down to either side of the right thigh, and then driving through the right foot as you come back up to the top. Upper and lower body are moving at the same time here again, so it's another little combo. If you would like to challenge your balance, rather than stepping your left foot to the floor at the top, you can drive your left knee in towards your chest as you balance on your right foot. Torso stays in one long upright column. Imagine a string tied to the top of your head, pulling you upwards so that you don't lean forward or back as you come down into your lunge. Start to look for depth in your lunge, so driving that left knee down so it almost touches the floor, and then driving the left knee in towards the chest, engaging through your core at the top. Let's work through this whole thing one more time, coming down to your lunge, sweeping the arms up. Now drop down to that lunge, 90-degree bend in either knee, turn your palms to face in, hammer curl. The heads of the weights come just in front of your deltoids, and then you lower your arms back down to your sides. Notice how my elbows stay nice and tight close to my rib cage rather than swinging forward and back. See if you can drop down a few more inches with that left knee, isometrically holding and building strength in the lower body as we work the biceps with these hammer curls. Again, keeping your spine one strong, straight column, hugging your ribs down, keeping that left knee super close to the mat. This is a bit of a longer set, so we're really utilizing time under tension. Try to stay in it. You can go a little slower if you need, but keep your form locked in. Give me 2 more. Last one. Pause. Keep your arms there. Very gently lower your left knee to the mat. Now lean your chest forward, sweep your arms back, come up through center, press your weights overhead, returning your weights to your shoulders before you dip the chest forward and sweep the arms back into this tricep extension. Keep your spine straight the whole time. When you take your chest forward, you're hinging from the hips rather than rounding through the upper back. Once you get the rhythm of this one, you'll likely feel it a lot in your shoulders and triceps, but focus on the lower body as well. Legs stay strong. Squeeze your inner thighs in towards each other underneath you. Balance by pressing the right foot down into the floor. You might keep your left toes tucked under as well. So we're trying to keep that awareness of the whole body. Let's go all the way through 2 more times. Big press at the top. Last one. Again, extending your arms as you press. Now give me that tricep kickback. Extend your arms overhead, hold it here. You can bring your weights together to touch, bend your elbows so the weights come just to hover behind the back of your skull, and then press back up towards the sky. We're working into the triceps here, which are a pushing muscle. So I want you to imagine, even if you're using lighter weights, that you're pushing something big and heavy up towards the ceiling, initiating the movement from your pinky fingers. Still strong through the legs, still lifting up and out of the waist. Make sure you're not flaring your elbows out to the sides, so keep them hovering close to the temples or the ears. Elbows are always about shoulder width apart. Last one like this. Pause, bring the weights down to the center of your chest, keep them together. You're going to twist to the right, back to center, and then press the arms forward and draw the weights back in towards your chest. Twisting right every time, and then a strong press forward so your arms are parallel to the floor. Pay special attention to your right knee as you twist. Make sure that it's not winging out to the right side. Imagine you're twisting from the belly button upwards. Your lower body is staying in the same position the whole entire time. If you find that you can't make this twist without rolling to the outer edge of your right foot, just make it a little bit smaller. So maybe turning about 45 degrees to your right, towards the top right corner of the mat, coming back through center, and you can keep your press the same. I know this is a long combo, lots for the shoulders and arms. We are almost there. Let's go for 3 more reps from here. Twist to the right, through center, punch it forward, pull it back in. Last 2 reps, punch, bring it in. Last one, all the way through, press it out, and release. Arms down, tuck your left toes so you can lift your left knee off the mat, step forward, and we'll reset for the other side. Take your arms overhead, palms facing forward. Reverse lunge with the right leg as you sweep your weights down. Drive through the left foot to stand and sweep the arms overhead. Pairing these 2 movements together, inhaling as you lunge, bending your knees deeply, and exhaling as you stand. If you want an additional challenge for your balance, go ahead and draw the right knee in towards the chest at the top rather than stepping your right foot down to the floor. Keep your chest upright. You can gaze forward to help with your balance, especially if you are taking that knee drive.
The 5th verse goes here.
For our last few reps, aim for a little more depth on your lunge, so bend your right knee and bring it to hover just above the mat before you drive back to stand.
bending your knee very deeply, and rising up to stand. One more time all the way through, lower it down, stand for the last time, and now step your right foot back, hold it here. Turn your palms towards each other, keeping your lunge, add in a hammer curl with the upper body. So isolating this movement to the upper body as you hold with that right knee bent very close to the floor, keeping your chest up and your elbows close to your sides. You always want to move the weights intentionally, so if you find you're flinging your weights by using momentum, slow down your movement a little bit more. Our last few reps, see if you can bring that right knee closer to the mat, ground down through the left heel for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Now release your right knee down to the mat. Lean your chest forward as you sweep the arms back, and then as you bring your chest to upright, weights to your shoulders and press them overhead. Chest comes forward as the arms come back, and chest comes up as you take your overhead press. As you work through each of these movements, make sure your hands are shoulder width apart, palms are always facing in towards each other. Even though you're feeling this more in the upper body, you want to keep a strong foundation in the lower body. Press your left foot down into the floor as if you could put your foot through the mat. Keep the core engaged. Make sure not to collapse your belly onto your thigh when you lean it forwards. Slow, deep breaths. We've got 5 more from here, and then we're going to hold the weights overhead. Press it up, bring it down. Kick it back for 4. Big press. Last 3 reps. Drive those weights overhead. Last 2, all the way through. Last one, kick it back, bring the weights up, pause here. Bring your dumbbells together, keeping the elbows close to the sides of the head, bend and straighten the arms, working into your overhead tricep extension. Your alignment is so important here because if it's off, your triceps don't really know they should be working. So keep your chest up, stack your ribs over your hips, lightly wrap your core in as if you're wearing a corset, and keep your elbows pointing forward, not out, so that your arms are framing your ears. Keep it strong for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Press it up, keep the weights together, bring them down to the center of your chest. Twist to your left, back to center, and then punch the weights forward. As you twist, make sure it's the upper body only twisting. Keep your left knee in line over top of your left heel so the lower body is still a strong, stable foundation as you use your obliques to create that twisting action. I know the shoulders might be feeling a little bit fatigued by now. This is our last bit of work for the upper body, so stay with it. Keep every movement controlled and intentional, especially right now. As your body gets tired, don't let yourself slip into autopilot. Feel it out, which muscles are working as you twist and as you press. We're almost there. Last 3, big press, bring it back in. Last 2 reps, and last 1, press it out, drive it back in, and release your arms down. Well done. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, step it all the way forward, coming back to standing one more time. You can place your weights down for just a moment here, maybe give the legs a little bit of a pedal out. You can roll the shoulders back, take a few deep breaths. And then we are going to finish off our class today with a lower body burnout. So you'll grab your block on the lowest height, place it to the center of your mat, and take your band, slide it on just above your knees at the bottom of your thighs. If you'd like, you can also grab your dumbbells, and then we'll set ourselves up with heels on the block and balls of the feet on the floor. You can bring your dumbbells up to your shoulders, keep your chest upright, and we'll start with a simple squat, coming down to your depth and then driving through the balls of your feet to stand back up. You might notice when we place the block underneath the heels like this, it will cause you to feel it a little bit more in your quads, the front of your thighs, and less in your glutes and hamstrings. If this does not feel good for your knees for any reason, or you find that the block is distracting you because it's making the balance too challenging, you can always do this with your feet flat on the floor. Let's go for 3 more, and stand. Last 2, and then we're adding on last 1. Bring it up. Now adding on, you're going to extend your left leg to the left, bring your foot back down, 1 squat. Abduction to the left, foot down, and back into your squat. Keep this on the left side only. We will come back in later and get the right leg. I want you to imagine on your abduction, you're just isolating the movement to your leg, so make sure that you don't compensate by leaning your upper body to the right as you swing your leg to the left. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips. Use your outer glute and thigh to lift that leg out as far as you can. After this squat, we'll switch sides, so you can extend your right leg to the right, bring it down, squat, and stand. Right leg only, bring it down, squat, and stand. Keep your chest lifted. Aim for that same depth on your squat as you had in the very beginning. This last set is a burnout, so we're going to work through a few minutes here, time under tension for the lower body. Breathe your way through it. We are very close to the end. 1 more rep to go here. Extend your right leg to the right, bring it down. Now this time we squat down and stay. Can you open your knees and close? Open and close, abducting both of your legs out to the side, pulling your band tight between your thighs, keeping your hips as low as you can. You might start to feel a burning through the thighs. Think about how far you've come in this workout and stay with me for these last couple reps. Getting ready to pulse it out in 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay low. Keep the knees hip width. Little tiny pulses of your hips. Down, down, down. Keep on pulsing. Keep on breathing. Last 2, 1. Now open your knees, stay low, and pulse it here. This is our final 10 seconds. Can you get down a little bit lower? Open your knees a little bit wider for 3, 2, 1. Knees together. Stand up. Bring your weights down. Very well done. You can take all of your equipment and move it to the side of your mat, and we'll finish off our class today with just a few minutes of stretching and starting to cool the body down. You can step towards the back of your mat, feet about hip width apart, comfortable bend in the knees. Inhale to reach your arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Allow your head to hang. Walk yourself out into a downward facing dog, keeping your hips lifted, pressing your hands down into the earth. Pedal out your legs, bending one knee into your chest and then the other. You can allow your hips to sway side to side as you do so. And now come into stillness. You can keep your heels lifted, press down through your hands so your chest comes closer to your thighs and the sides of your waist feel even longer. Another deep inhale. And as you exhale, slowly float your knees down to a tabletop position. Inhale to drop your belly, arch the back, and gaze forward. And a slow exhale as you round and tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, arching the back for your cow pose. And exhale, rounding for cat pose. Go for 2 more, trying to make each breath and each movement a little bit slower than the one before. Come back to neutral. Move your knees back just a couple of inches so you can comfortably lower down all the way to your belly with your hands on the floor under your shoulders. As you inhale, press yourself up into a cobra, a nice little stretch for the abs. Start to turn to your right, look back towards your right heel, and allow your left shoulder to come in towards the center. And then make your way back through center, and we'll do the other side. So turning your right shoulder in towards the center, gazing back to your left heel. Breathe deep into the belly, and return yourself to center. Keep your knees grounded and wide. You can pull your hips back and sit down on top of your heels for child's pose. Allow your forehead to find the mat in between your elbows. You can bend your elbows and make a prayer position with your hands, taking your thumbs to rest on the back of your skull to add an additional stretch for the triceps. And then release that prayer position. Walk your hands in, make your way up to a kneeling position or any comfortable seat, and we'll finish with a few deep breaths together. Inhale to sweep the arms overhead, and as you exhale, float your arms down by your sides. Inhale deeper, stretch the arms up, and exhale, float the arms down and let something go. Deepest inhale so far, reach it up to the sky. Exhale, float your arms down. And on this last one, take the arms up. This time you can join your palms together. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Very well done. You are done with your workout for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!